And today, are we talking about Wildcats football? And at the end, there are also some very interesting updates for basketball. So stay tuned until the end and subscribe to get more news about the Wildcats. The night that marked Brock Vandagriff's debut under the lights at Commonwealth Stadium brought together elements and expectations in a display that could be described as anything but conventional. The quarterback, transferred from Georgia, donned the Wildcats uniform with the pressure of leading not just a team, but the hopes of a fan nation. Though the season opener against an unnamed opponent was less a baptism by fire and more a testing of the waters, Vandagriff showed signs that he might be the piece Kentucky was looking for to rekindle its offense. After a rocky start, which saw the first drive halted by an interception due to a miscommunication, Vandagriff's initial nerves could be felt in the stands among the blue and white fans. However, the capacity for resilience is a valued quality in college football, and Vandagriff did not disappoint, improving with each snap amid the rain and light-induced delays. He began to build confidence both among his teammates and the fans. His performance was reminiscent of former Kentucky quarterback Will Levis, especially in how he managed the pocket and extended plays with his legs. This did not go unnoticed by coach Mark Stoops, who compared Vandagriff to Levis, praising his physical strength and ability to make plays under pressure. "He's strong and physical, and played as I expected," Stoops said. "That's a big part when a guy can run like he does. You always have to be on the lookout for that." Vandagriff led the Wildcats to score on 5 of their last 6 drives, amassing 3 passing touchdowns and combining aerial and ground yards that showcased his versatility and athletic prowess. The numbers, though modest, were enough to lead all Kentucky offensive players in Pro Football Focus ratings, standing out not just among his peers, but also against other 123 quarterbacks in the first week of college football. The observation from Jamon Johnson, a linebacker who followed Vandagriff from Georgia to Kentucky, was emblematic of the general sentiment, a tacit approval of what's to come. "To be honest, he did a good job," Johnson commented. "It's only going to go up from here." As the Wildcats gear up for their next battle against South Carolina, a matchup that promises to be different. In a conference where every game is a battle, the ability of a quarterback to adapt and overcome might very well be the key to surpassing the 7-win mark and confirming Kentucky's position as a contender in the SEC. Let's move forward. In the 2024 season opener, the Kentucky Wildcats hit the field with high expectations and emerged with a resounding 31-0 victory over Southern Mississippi. The game was marked by a combination of defensive dominance and a solid performance from new starting quarterback, Brock Vandagriff, as we've mentioned before. Although the game was shortened due to weather conditions, the Wildcats showed promising signs that could indicate a successful year under coach Mark Stoops. However, as with any opening game, there were highs and lows that deserve attention. Just to emphasize on Brock Vandagriff again, the comparison to Will Levis, made by Mark Stoops, was not an overstatement. Vandagriff displayed control of the pocket and an ability to extend plays with his legs reminiscent of the former Wildcats quarterback. If he continues to develop this chemistry with his receivers and demonstrate the confidence he showed in the win against Southern Miss, Kentucky may have found the leader they were looking for to guide the team in a competitive SEC campaign. Another highlight was the running backs room, which managed to overcome the absence of Chip Trayanum, the team's leading rusher, currently injured. Demai Sumo Karngbe, a transfer from NC State, took on the responsibility and did not disappoint, accumulating 59 yards and a touchdown on just 8 carries. His performance was complemented by freshman Jason Patterson, who, although he didn't score, contributed 28 yards on 4 carries. The depth and versatility shown by Kentucky's runners are a good sign for the tougher battles to come in the season. On the defensive side, the duo of J.Q. Hardaway and Jamon Johnson stood out with crucial interceptions that helped keep Southern Miss out of the scoring zone. The decisive plays from both players suggest that Mark Stoops' defense might be shaping up to be one of the best units in his tenure at Kentucky. If the defense continues to display this level of aggression and efficiency, the Wildcats will have a solid foundation to compete in the demanding SEC schedule. Despite the dominant victory, the game revealed areas where the Wildcats need improvements. The defense, which was brilliant for most of the game, struggled in third and long situations. On 2 occasions, Kentucky allowed third down conversions that prolonged Southern Miss's drives, including a 3rd and 18 that resulted in a 33-yard play. This type of lapse could be fatal against stronger opponents in the SEC, and it's something Stoops' team will need to adjust quickly. Additionally, penalties were a consistent issue during the shortened game. Kentucky was penalized 4 times, losing 45 yards, including a crucial holding penalty that resulted in Van Dagar's first interception. Another 15-yard penalty for roughing the passer committed by J.J. Weaver also highlighted the need for greater discipline on the team. Reducing these penalties will be key to avoiding self-sabotage in future games. Overall, the victory over Southern Miss was an excellent starting point for the Wildcats. Brock Van Dagar proved that he could be the quarterback Kentucky needs to lead the offense, while the defense demonstrated that it is a force to be reckoned with. However, issues of discipline and the need to improve performance in critical situations like third downs must be addressed quickly, especially with the SEC in sight. If Kentucky can adjust these details and continue to build on the solid foundation they showed in the opener, this could be the year the Wildcats finally surpass the 7-win mark and challenge the conference's heavyweights. The upcoming game against South Carolina will be a crucial test, but with Van Dagar's performance and the depth in the roster, there are reasons for optimism in Lexington. Jamori Macklin gives Kentucky a deep passing threat. The convincing victory of the Kentucky Wildcats over Southern Miss by 31-0 in the season opener highlighted several promising pieces that could be decisive for the 2024 campaign. Among these, Jamori Macklin stands out, starting to establish himself as one of the team's major offensive threats. The transfer from North Texas arrived in Lexington with a reputation as a playmaker, especially after a season where he racked up over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. And it seems Macklin has not only brought his skills, but is also ready to elevate his game even further. From the first time Macklin stepped onto the field in a Wildcats uniform, it was clear he could fill a gap in Kentucky's offense. The lack of a receiver capable of stretching the field and creating explosive plays was a notable deficiency last season. But now, with Macklin, the scenario looks quite different. In the matchup against Southern Miss, he lived up to his reputation, recording 2 receptions for 66 yards, leading the team in this regard. The play that caught the most attention occurred early in the third quarter. Macklin caught a 46-yard pass from Brock Van Dagar, showcasing not only his speed, but also his ability to easily break free and turn a simple play into a scoring opportunity. This reception put Kentucky in position to score another touchdown before the match was halted due to weather conditions. It was a glimpse of what Macklin can offer to the Wildcats offense, a constant threat of big plays that can change the course of a game in a single play. Coach Mark Stoops did not hold back in his praise for Macklin after the game. Jamori is another guy I've been talking about in practice who I thought, when the lights come on and you see him in the stadium, he's a guy who can make some competitive plays, Stoops remarked. This coach's acknowledgement is not casual. Macklin is not just a rising talent, but someone who has already shown, during his time at North Texas, that he can be relied upon in crucial moments. Besides his deep reception capability, Macklin also demonstrated his versatility on short plays. In one of the early possessions of the game, he caught a quick pass and, despite the play being nullified by a penalty, it was clear to see his agility and ability to dodge defenders. This type of play underscores Macklin's importance to the Wildcats offense. He is not just a long route receiver, but a player capable of creating opportunities across various parts of the field, becoming a real headache for opposing defenses. Quarterback Brock Van Dagar who also had a solid performance, has already shown great confidence in Macklin. Van Dagar, in his first season as a starter, highlighted the importance of having a receiver like Macklin, who not only wins his individual matchups, but is also always ready to make the right play. Jamori, he did his job, one on the outside, and for a fraction of a second he was so open. I just thought, don't miss him, said Van Dagar. With Macklin alongside Brea Brown and Dane Key, the Kentucky Wildcats now boast a trio of receivers that can rival any in the SEC. Each brings a unique skill set to the table, making Kentucky's offense more unpredictable and dangerous. While Brown and Key combined for 7 receptions, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the win over Southern Miss, Macklin's presence adds a new dimension to the offense, forcing opposing defenses to stay alert at all times. For the new offensive coordinator, Bush Hamdan, this abundance of talent is a gift, yet also a challenge. With so many viable options, creativity in the playbook will be crucial to maximize the potential of this group. However, if the opening game is any indication, Hamdan seems well on his way to fully leveraging the abilities of Macklin and his teammates. While it's early to make predictions about what Macklin will achieve in terms of statistics this season, it's undeniable that he brings something that was missing from Kentucky's offense, a constant threat that can change the game in an instant. The transition of Brea to the Kentucky Wildcats promises to be one of the most intriguing elements of the upcoming college basketball season. After an impressive season with the Dayton Flyers, where Brea emerged as one of the country's top three-point shooting specialists, hitting nearly 50% of his long-distance attempts, he is now gearing up to play a crucial role in an offensive system that seems tailor-made for his skills. Under the leadership of Coach Mark Pope, known for his modern and dynamic approach to basketball, the Wildcats are embracing a fast-paced, three-point shooting-oriented game philosophy. Pope has not hidden his excitement about Brea, referring to him as a dangerous, dangerous man. This description is indicative of the coach's confidence in Brea's potential to be a cornerstone of the Wildcats' offense. Pope's system promises to be something different for shooters like Brea. With intentions to attempt up to 35 three-point shots per game, the Wildcats are preparing to take seriously the concept of spacing and quick ball movement, principles that are the foundation of the attack Pope is implementing in Lexington. For Brea, who is already proven capable of shooting with high efficiency, this shift represents a unique opportunity to elevate his game to a new level. Brea expressed his excitement about playing in a system so favorable to his abilities. The biggest draw for me, probably coming here, was seeing how perfect the system is, said Brea. The clarity with which Pope presented his vision and how Brea would fit into it was decisive for his decision to transfer to Kentucky. Not just the offense, but also the defensive expectations were detailed, showing that Brea's commitment to the Wildcats extends beyond just making shots. He's ready to contribute on both sides of the court. What makes this situation even more interesting is the depth of the Wildcats roster in terms of perimeter shooters. Brea is not alone as a sniper on the team. He is surrounded by other players who also have the ability to consistently hit from long distance. This creates a competitive, yet healthy, environment where each player is pushed to constantly improve. Brea spoke about this with enthusiasm, noting how the presence of other high-level shooters motivates him to elevate his game further. I'm like, wow, am I really the best shooter? Because there are some really good shooters here, commented Brea, showing a humility that matches well with his ambition. Brea's mindset of wanting not just to excel, but also to help his teammates be equally good is a reflection of the kind of leadership and maturity he brings to the team. He arrives as one of the best shooters in the country and with the confidence of a coach who believes he can be a key piece for the Wildcats. With a system that favors his strengths and a roster that challenges him to be his best, Brea is positioned not just to replicate the success he had in Dayton, but also to surpass it in Lexington. If he can maintain his level of efficiency and quickly adapt to the new system, Brea could become one of the most impactful players of the season, helping Kentucky compete at the highest level. Wildcats fans have every reason to be excited about the arrival of Kobe Brea. He's not just an elite shooter. He's a player who understands the game, who is committed to being part of something bigger, and who is ready to make the most of this opportunity. Let's move forward. With John Calipari's departure to Arkansas, Mark Pope's arrival as the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats ignites a series of reflections on the challenges and possibilities the future holds. And who better to offer a glimpse into this transition than Tubby Smith, whose extensive and respected experience in college basketball positions him as an ideal mentor for Pope. The SEC tournament in March was more than just a sporting event for Tubby Smith, marked by his induction into the 2024 SEC Legends class. Seated next to his wife Donna at the Bridgestone Arena, Smith witnessed the Wildcats suffer a disheartening defeat to Texas A&M by 97-87. This moment of tension and silence after the game reflected more than just a loss. It was a harbinger of the imminent changes that would shake the foundations of the Kentucky program. The game against Texas A&M wasn't just a loss in a match. It symbolized the accumulated frustrations and unmet expectations that culminated in Calipari's decision to leave Kentucky. As Smith reflected on the atmosphere of the game, his mind also turned to the conversations he had during breakfast at the Final Four in Phoenix. In this casual meeting, Calipari, Smith, and Pope shared a significant moment, unaware that it would be one of Calipari's last encounters as coach of the Wildcats. After Calipari accepted an offer from Arkansas, it surprised many in Kentucky, but for Smith, it was a reminder that college basketball is as much about human relationships as it is about wins and losses. His own move from Kentucky to Minnesota in 2007 was that sentiment, a transition driven not just by opportunities but by a desire to be valued and respected. Looking forward, Mark Pope's entry as head coach presents a series of challenges and opportunities. Smith, with his wisdom and experience, advises Pope to stay the course, advice that resonates with the need for stability and long-term vision in the face of immediate pressures. With 5 SEC regular season titles and significant appearances in the Elite Eights, Smith understands the pressure that comes with the territory in Kentucky. Winning a championship can be both a blessing and a burden, as Smith learned after his 1998 national championship triumph. The expectations that accompany such successes are immense, and as Smith notes, it's hard to win championships. He cites the remarkable feats of coaches like Dan Hurley and Billy Donovan, reminding everyone in the world of college basketball that excellence is a difficult but not unattainable goal. In an environment where each game is more than just a game, and every decision has ramifications extending beyond the courts, staying the course with a clear vision and a commitment to the values of the program will be crucial for success under Pope's leadership. The latest developments in Kentucky are quite intriguing and strategic, showcasing the keen eye of the great Mark Pope. The recent addition of Malachi Moreno from Great Crossing is already a cause for celebration in Lexington. As the first committed recruit of the 2025 class, Moreno brings not only a refined game, but also impressive statistics that highlight his potential. His average of 16 points and 13.3 rebounds per game last season illustrates his capability to be a dominant force under the boards. Ranked as the 27th best player in the country and the second best center in his class by 247 Sports Composite, he is already destined to be a central pillar in Pope's strategy for the Wildcats. However, all eyes are now turned to what could be the next major addition to the program, Jasper Johnson. This talented young man, a native of Kentucky, is facing significant uncertainty with his decision about which college to attend scheduled for next Thursday. Louisville and Kentucky are among the finalists to secure the commitment of this coveted point guard, a competition that intensifies as other schools, including North Carolina, Arkansas, and Alabama also have him in their sights. Johnson, who starred in Woodford County before transferring to Link Academy in Missouri, plans to play his last high school season in Atlanta with Overtime Elite. His journey so far reflects a dedicated and highly skilled athlete, whose on-court abilities are corroborated by his ranking as the second-best point guard and the 10th best overall player in the class of 2025, according to 247 Sports Composite. Johnson's decision will not only influence the future dynamics of the Wildcats, but could also set the tone for the 2025 recruiting season, affecting Coach Pope's long-term strategy. If Kentucky can secure his commitment, the program will not only bolster its roster with top-tier talent, but will also send a clear message about its continued relevance and appeal in the competitive college basketball landscape. The always passionate and engaged Big Blue Nation remains on countdown for this guy to sign. Will he come? Comment below. I want to know your opinion.